Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. So we just got an announcement not too long ago, I believe a couple of days ago, about two legendary massive behemoths coming to the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Now, if you watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, more specifically the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal anime, you probably know the monsters that I am talking about. Two of the most ridiculous monsters because of their sheer base attack and defense stat that we have ever seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! history. Card game, anime, whatever Yu-Gi-Oh! You want to talk about. And that is the Numeronia monsters of Dawn 1000. We knew the Numerons were getting printed earlier in the year to the TCG, and I said that I was disappointed that we were not getting Chaos Imaginary number 1000 or Chaos number 1000. Well, that has changed. They are both coming to the TCG in the Pieces of Memories number collection. Dawn 1000's two ace monsters, Numeronious and Numeronious Numeronia. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to have this whole article, thank you to Yugioh organization for translating and posting, linked down below, and I'm going to go over my thoughts on these monsters getting printed and a little bit of disappointment that I have. I know that might seem kind of surprising to you, but there are a couple of things about this announcement that I am a little disappointed in, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but let's start with the monsters. So we have Chaos number 1000 Numeronious. For those of you unfamiliar with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal anime, the main antagonist Dawn 1000 used these two monsters, his final two monsters, that he summoned in a tag, not really a tag duel, a 2-on-1 duel against Shark and Yuma. Kaito in Spirit ended up joining that duel as well, right before he was defeated. So these were the last two monsters that the main villain of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal used near the end of the show. Chaos number 1000 Numeronious, a rank 12 monster, and the first thing that you probably notice is that its attack and defense are question marks. Now, we know in the anime this monster's attack and defense were 10,000. The spell card Numeron Chaos Ritual gives Numeronious its attack points. It says right there in its effect, special summon one number C1000 Numeronious from your extra deck, but its attack becomes 10,000 and defense becomes 1,000. Then attach those 5 targets to it as material. For the rest of this term, you can only normal or special summon a monster once. So, in this case, in the card game case, Numeronious gets its attack points from the spell card, and it will have 10,000 attack points when it is summoned. And here's its effects. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, destroy one other monster on the field. Had that in the anime. At the end of the battle phase, destroy all other monsters on the field, which it had in the anime, but you can only special summon one monster from your opponent's grave in defense position. So that is a little different. Numeronious in the anime, when you blew up your opponent's field during this effect, you were able to special summon as many monsters as you could, and that was very important because an effect that Numeronious had in the anime was any time that this card was going to be destroyed, you can destroy one other monster you control instead. So essentially, if you had 3 monsters at Numeronious' side, you would have to destroy those 3 monsters and then go after Numeronious, which made it a very, very tough monster to out. Well, not only can you only special summon one monster with this effect in the card game, but you cannot even utilize that other effect. That effect where, if it's about to be destroyed, you can choose another monster to get destroyed, is completely gone. That is not an effect that Numeronious is going to have in the TCG. And finally, the last effect. If this card in your monster zone is destroyed by your opponent's card effect while it has material and is sent to your graveyard, you can special summon one number, Chaos Imaginary number 1000, Numeronious Numeronia from your extra deck. And if you do, attach this card to it as material. So let's get to the big bad boss monster of this Numeron deck. Numeronious Numeronia, which again has a base stat of 100,000 attack points in the anime only. And this is, I'll just be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I understand the trouble of printing a stat on a card that is that big. 100,000, you know, most cards have about a 4-digit attack counter, like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. To have a six-digit one probably would be a little tricky and maybe problematic. But the fact that this monster technically does not have any sort of base attack or defense stat is a little disappointing. Something that I always was really excited for whenever these cards, if these cards ever came, was to be able to see a monster that literally had 100,000 attack. But if you own Numeronious Numeronia, its attack is going to be question marks, which we've seen on plenty of monsters before. That's nothing new. So the thought of having something new and having something ridiculous printed on a card always really, really excited me, and the fact that they are not going to go down that route, again, probably for logistical reasons, which I guess is understandable, is a little disappointing. I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't. But Numeronious Numeronia is a rank 13 monster. It's XZ's materials. You need 5 level 13 monsters or to summon it by way of Chaos number 1000. If this card was special summoned by the effect of Chaos number 1000 Numeronious, it gains 100,000 attack and defense during your opponent's turn only. Also, begin applying the following effects when the next turn begins after this card was special summoned. Each monster your opponent controls must attack this card if able. When your opponent's turn ends, if this card is not battled that turn, you win the duel. Very similar to the anime, so no issues there. When an opponent's monster attacks, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate that attack, and if you do, gain life points equal to that monster's attack, which is what we saw in the Yugioh Zexal duel between Don Thousand, Shark, and Yuma, him using this effect. But there is an effect missing from Numeronious Numeronia, a pretty notable one, if I'm going to be honest. In the anime, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. There is no... They got rid of that protection for this card in the TCG. There is no effect here that says anything like the sort that it cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is a little disappointing. That was something that made this boss monster so seemingly impenetrable, and the fact that they removed its card effect protection is really a bit of a letdown. If you're going to go through the trouble... And again, this is beyond my pay grade. I don't know how hard it is to summon this monster. I'm sure there's some Yu-Gi-Oh players, and you guys can let me know. That's why I love making card game videos, and I really only do it when it comes to the anime. But I'm sure there's some Yu-Gi-Oh players that feel this monster is probably not too difficult to summon, or maybe you feel that it is, and you can let me know. But is it worth summoning? That's the question. Is it worth summoning besides for the meme? And I feel like if it had some sort of protection, like a boss monster, a final boss monster should, then it probably is worth going through the trouble of summoning it. But to remove the protection and make this monster nerf it a little bit, not give it the base attack and defense of 100,000, I am a little disappointed by the effect changes. I'm not gonna lie, and I think that's something that made Numeronious Numeronia so good and so intimidating. One of the most intimidating monsters I think ever summoned to a Yu-Gi-Oh field. The 100,000 attack right off the bat, and the impenetrable card effect defense, and you kind of removed both of that and took that away with this printing. And that is a little bit of a letdown for me, if I'm going to be entirely honest. So, yeah, I mean, that is it, though. We are getting these 2 cards, which is really cool. I mean, I've always loved the designs of these cards. I just always envisioned that they would have the base stats that they had in the anime, the 10,000 and 100,000 respectively, and the fact that they kind of worked out a loophole where we get question marks instead, for, again, understandable reasons, is a little bit of a letdown. But you guys let me know. Let me know what you think of the effects definitely being nerfed on both of these monsters to a degree, to be completely honest, and the fact that we're not getting the attack and defense numbers as a base stat, but rather question marks. Let me know if it bothers you. I'm still happy that they're coming. I think anime cards and decks, especially when it's been 10 years getting printed, is always a good thing. So I don't want that to be misconstrued at all. I mean, I don't want people to think I'm complaining that we're getting these monsters. I'm not. I'm doing a video on it. I'm very, very excited. I just wish that maybe it was executed and printed a little differently I wish the effects kind of stayed more true to the anime. But then again, maybe a lot of people are going to comment and say, if the effects stayed true to the anime, these monsters would be ridiculously broken to the point where it would break the game. And then I'll be like, all right, well then I understand why you took away these effects. But you guys can let me know, the actual good players, the people who actually play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh competitively, which is most of you guys watching. Please let me know your thoughts on all these changes, and thank you for hearing my ramblings and my thoughts on Numeronious and Numeronious Numeronia, these boss monsters of Dawn 1000 finally getting printed. And a special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, Panther J, Blue Maiden 28, Jarrett Buller, and Aura Dragon, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, Pegasus Seiya, and Anime Kaput, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons, Chase Connelly and Xy's Lover 104. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Thank you to everyone who's a YouTube channel member. You guys help me out tremendously. And thank you all at home for watching. I will talk to you down below. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.